Hello Internet! Today I will be showing you 8 amazing stuff that you probably didn't know and will make you definitely a better artist. So let's start with number 1. When picking a color pencil or any kind of pencil, the first thing you should do is of course pick a right pencil, but most people tend to just use it as it is, and that's a huge no-no. The pencil itself, it's always like pointy at one end, and most people just use it as it is. The clue here is that you always want to take the pencil, whichever is the graphite, charcoal, color, water, it doesn't matter what kind of pencil it is, always take it and sharpen the other edge. Why do you sharpen the other side? Why do you make an edge on the other side as well? Is because when the producers that make pencils, they kind of lay down the pigment in a completely different way, so the flow goes not in the way the actual sharpness is, it actually goes to the other edge. So, first hint of the day, take the pencil, sharpen the other side and use the other side because the flow is much better. The second thing I would like to talk about is that like all other food products, even the best pencils have dates that expire. The date is never written anywhere on the pencil because you can kind of use it indefinitely. There's no real limit, but it actually is. Packed pencils get really bad after a few years, and you should not change them way too often, but if you want the best products when you make your drawings, you should always check how good the pigment is in your pencils after a few years if you've been using it for a long time. The way you can check it is buy 2 identical pencils, one that was produced, one that you had like 3 years and the other one that's brand new, and compare them when you draw side to side. Compare them and see if the quality is the same. You can also kind of almost like smell the pigment. It has like the fresh ones have like a really strong color pigment smell, while the old ones, they really don't have any kind of smell. And if you want to be really sure, take one of the pencils and break it in 2 and smell the middle. If the middle even doesn't smell fresh at all, that means that your pencil has probably expired and you should definitely switch them to get the higher quality drawing. What separates the pros from the not pros is when they're actually drawing, most people are holding their breath. Most talented and very good and people that you look up to, they're holding their breath when they're drawing. The reason is when you deprive your body from oxygen, it starts focusing on the really important stuff, like keeping your most body, like it sharpens your senses. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you draw and you like hold your breath for like I would say 30 seconds, you will notice that the last 10 seconds of those 30 seconds your mind will sharpen super fast and do the most incredible stuff while drawing. So yeah, try holding your breath just before you pass out. That's the best part where your brain can actually focus and get the most detailed lines. So start holding your breath, guys. Another really good thing that helped me a lot is when people start drawing. Good artists normally tend to make like a practice drawing where they take a piece of paper and they start doodling on it. The reason is they normally say is because they want to warm up their wrist, warm up their fantasy, warm up whichever part of their body is needed to start really working. But the real secret is that when they do stuff like that, they actually warm up the pigment on the top. It happens with friction. When you start drawing, the pointy part gets a lot of friction and it gets warmer and warmer and kind of heats up the pigment in the pencils. And when it does, it almost kind of allows you to have a nicer flow. So before you start drawing any kind of drawing, take a pen, pencil or whatever, and like start like It's just like mashing it on the paper, just get the really glow, get the really heat on it, so the flow in the pencil gets a lot nicer, and you will see a huge difference. This is why normally when you start drawing and you start and it's like it feels like hard and it's going slowly, when you have been drawing for like a 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you will see that the flow goes out better because the pencils are warmed up. So that's another clue that you probably didn't know. So people normally ask me what kind of paper I use. The answer is that it really doesn't matter. As long as you know what you're doing and how you're doing it, it doesn't really matter what kind of paper you use. But I can tell you something. If you decide to use any kind of paper and you buy like a big book or bunch of paper at the same time and you open it, what do you do normally? You take the first paper from the top, right? No, never take the first paper from the top. Always skip the first one and take the second paper from the page. And you're probably asking, why should I do that? Well, it's simple. The first page of the paper, or the first cover, it kind of protects the paper and everything from getting damaged. But the first paper does exactly the same thing. If you feel the smoothness of the first paper, you will see it was kind of like almost destroyed because of the cover. So the first page tends to be really bad to draw on. I normally use the second one because there's like I don't know how much in percentage it would be, how much better this one is in percentage, but you clearly see a huge difference when you work that way. So after you manage to pick your paper, it's nice and smooth and you're ready to go with your upside down broken pencil and everything, if you did correctly. The other thing you want to do is like just glide with your hand slightly over it, because like any other surface, it has like small ridges that are like microscopical and you can't really see. Just by going with your palm over the paper, you flatten out the small surfaces that would normally catch up the pigments of the pencils, and it will just make it a lot smoother for you to draw. So like slowly glide it over the paper for like a minute or two. People always ask me when I start drawing, how do I protect the paper from not moving all the way around when I'm drawing? So basically, if you like start drawing and you see like moving, you move it too much. There's a really simple and effective solution. I'll show you right away. The solution is chewing gum. It doesn't really matter what kind of chewing gum you use, as long as you use like a really big sticky one. So I just bought like some kind of candy like chewing gum, and basically you put it in your mouth, you chew it for a while. I would guess for like 10 minutes is the best amount of time you should chew a chewing gum. And when you have, oh it's big. And when you have chewed the chewing gum for 10 minutes, I will show you later what you can do with it. So I'll be just chewing for 10 minutes. Let's skip forward. So, I've been chewing gum for 10 minutes now, and you're asking yourself, what do I need a chewing gum for? Well, let me tell you. When the paper moves a lot back and forward, I always use chewing gum and place it on the corners of my papers, like so. And what you're like asking me now, like why the hell would you do that? Well, it's simple. It's the best way to ensure that the paper doesn't move. It does get sticky though, so have a lot of towel next by. So basically, now I have chewing gum on the back. I just pop it like this, and look at now. No chance in hell it's going to move. The only downside when you do that is that the chewing gum kind of gets really sticky on it, and you have like maybe 20 minutes to do a drawing, so you should work really quick before it gets really stuck on the paper. So when the paper is put in place and everything is good to go, most people just start working right away, and I'll tell you that's wrong. You need to prepare the surface of the paper for the upcoming session, and the best way you can do that is like get a spray bottle like this and spray some stuff on it. And you might be asking, what is the stuff you're spraying on now? Well, it's water mixed with butter. It's gonna you can either do that, just mix it in a spray bottle like that, or just buy like from a grocery store like a butter pack, and let's see, take it straight out of the box like that. And the things I normally use is a palette knife, and I just gonna scoop up with the palette knife like a bunch of butter like so. Try not to make it too big of a mess. And when you have done that, just like start slowly spreading it over the sheet of paper, evenly and slowly, and you will see that when you do stuff like that, the paper kind of starts curling, but that's completely normal. When the paper curls, that means you're doing a correct job. When the butter settles, you will see that the paper will come back to normal, and that you're going to be ready for a drawing session. Why are we putting butter on it? This one is actually like a light version. It's like good for the heart, it says. It doesn't really matter if it's eco-friendly or not, as long as it's buttery. Why are we doing that? Is because when you put butter on the paper, you actually make a smoother area for yourself to work, and when you have done that, this pencil will glide like a knife through butter. If you're seeing that the palette knife is not doing a good enough job for you when it comes to spreading out the butter on the paper, use your friendly owned hand. Just like take it and smear it slowly over the page until the page feels ready to be painted on. You will feel the nice smoothness of the paper in just a few seconds. Here we go. And those are my few good advice for people who don't know much about stuff and art that will probably help you improve as an artist. So I wish you fun and good luck. See you next time.